Hello, Hills family. My name is Mackenzie Schmidt, and Paul has asked me here today to do the devotional. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about some big changes that my family is currently going through and how we've dealt with them, and some scripture to kind of go along with that as well. So the first major change that has happened here recently is my family has decided to bring another wonderful baby into the world, and we're preparing for that. And as you probably know, what we've been experiencing the past year in a pandemic, that's been a little scary. And then you add the divide that it feels like our world is in today, and it just kind of makes you guess, am I making the right choices of bringing another child into this world? My husband and I currently have a 2.5-year-old named Hope, and we absolutely love being parents. And we know that that's our passion and that we want to bring another child into this world, but there's always doubts. We've had some losses along the way, and it took a really long time for us to conceive our first child. And it also took a little bit for us to conceive the second one. And there was times along that journey where we were double guessing, or I was blaming my body, and I just kept saying I was done. I didn't want to do this anymore. There was times where I blamed God or asked God why, and I was really, really weak in those moments and didn't really know what His plan was, and I was scared, to be completely honest. And then another second big change that's happened here recently is I am 6 months pregnant and decided now would be a good time to change career paths. And that, as you can imagine, can be really scary, especially if you're a female and you've been through a pregnancy before, applying for a job knowing what is this employer going to think when they find out I'm pregnant is really terrifying. And again, I had all these self-doubts of they're not going to hire me, I'm not good enough, and just so many worries and self-doubts. Like I said, that it felt too much at times. And be strong and to believe in myself. So the scripture that I'm going to read about today, that's really helped me and has helped build me back up when I finally decided it was time, that I was good enough and we were good parents, and I just was ready to be strong again. This is the scripture that's just really helped me. What I'm going to be reading is Joshua chapter 1, scripture 7 through 9. And it says, "Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn into it the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of law always on your lips. Meditate it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you whenever you go." So isn't that a pretty powerful verse? It is to me. So, it says that God will be with us wherever we go. And I needed that, especially in these hard times, to be reminded that He's always with us. But then He's literally commanding you to be strong and courageous and not to be afraid. And this has become the scripture that I just go to now whenever I feel like I'm having a weak moment, or when I just feel like I'm just not strong enough to handle whatever moment or whatever phase of life that we're in. So I just finally realized that, recently I've just had, the devil filling my head with all of these self-doubts and all of these worries. And I just needed to realize that I just needed to meditate and start reading my Bible daily. I'd kind of gotten away from, reading my daily Bible verses. And you can see here it talks about we need to be, reading day and night. And so my challenge for you and my challenge for myself that I'll be doing for this next week is setting time, not just for God, but for myself, to read scripture, even if you can only read one chapter in those morning or in those afternoon sessions. Just make sure you set that time for you and for Jesus, and just really fulfill your bucket for the week, and just make sure that you realize that we love you here at the Hills. You're strong and you're very, very courageous. Thank you.